While you're doing that, I better go find my glasses so I can read this fucking
Tearful faith and little lies. As best she could, she begged the skies for a dad and a mom, a forever home, a world away down on their knees. Jesus, give us eyes to see. If you were leading us to this, then you will make a way for us. Now she's here from halfway around the world, 'cause Jesus hears the orphan. He's moving heaven and earth, all for one little girl. I heard Jesus calling. Will you go and rescue her? All for one little girl. Little did you know we were coming, 'cause Jesus hears the orphan. She's a woman now with grateful eyes, with her husband thanks the skies, a dad and a mom, a forever home, a world away down on their knees. Jesus heard the faithful pleas, but tell the little boy again how his legacy of love began. And now he's here from halfway round the world. Jesus hears the orphan. He's moving heaven and earth, all for one little boy. She heard Jesus calling. Will you go and rescue her? All for one little boy. Little did he know they were coming, 'cause Jesus hears the orphan. Father of adoption, you've adopted me. Father of compassion, here I am. Father of adoption, you've adopted me. Father of compassion, here I am. Jesus hears the orphan. He's moving heaven and earth, for little boys, little girls. We hear Jesus calling. Will you go and rescue them? Little boys, little girls. Little do they know we are coming. Little do they know, more to
Alright, everybody, coming live tonight. I got a few things I want to discuss. Also, I got another tape here I'm going to play with me in the corner. Talks about what I couldn't find out the last time we spoke, that he was going to find out for me and everything. So I want everybody to hear what he says about it, and also what he says about the DNA. And then I'm going to go over a few things with the sheriff, about the sheriff and the sheriff's office. And I'm going to discuss that with everybody on some illegal matters that they're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this corner tape, and then it'll explain to you guys what kind of DNA they have. And it is, I mean, to me, it's the best they could have. So I'm going to go ahead and let him explain everything to everybody about the DNA and also the x-rays. And then I'll discuss that after that's over with. So I'm going to go ahead and start that now. Okay, so I'm trying to, I know what you just said, that was a lot.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Okay, so the x-rays weren't done.
Correct.
And you said the reason the x-rays weren't done was because which you told me yesterday, you looked at her bones or whatever.
Essentially, yes. I mean, I didn't look at little bones of the face, but I could tell if there was a wound, open skin, and then I would have x-rayed it to see if something was in there. Other than that, I look at the spine, I see the ribs, I feel those arm bones, just so.
Could a person tell, yourself, could you be able to tell if, like, let's say somebody was giving her mouth to mouth and they pressed on her chest, would you be able to tell that?
Yes, if they broke a rib, I would see that.
Oh, only if they broke a rib?
Right, I wouldn't know if they were, if somebody did chest compressions, it doesn't leave a mark unless the ribs are broken.
Oh, okay, unless the rib is broken.
Yeah, if someone's doing chest compressions, it can bruise the chest, but it doesn't have to. Particularly if they're using on a young girl that it doesn't take much pressure, the ribs are flexible. But if they do CPR deep enough and fracture something, I see that.
Okay.
But regular CPR, it would be unusual in a child to leave much mark, particularly if it's a bystander, because typically they don't use enough pressure. If it's EMS, they typically will break a rib.
Right.
But it's not necessarily so.
Okay, and then and then far as the I'm trying to understand. All right, yes. You said it's Y. What is it again? The DNA.
We have a partial profile from the Y chromosome, which is the male. Male. What differentiates men from women is the 23rd chromosome.
Uh-huh.
And it's either a Y chromosome, which is men, or it's either an X and a Y, which makes a man, or it's an X and an X, which makes a woman.
Okay. And then because there wasn't enough.
Because it's not, so there's 23 chromosomes. The other 22 are what we typically use to differentiate individuals. So if we have a criminal and we get their blood, we do a profile that breaks down those 22 chromosomes. It excludes, it does not look at the X and Y.
And because you don't have that, then
because we just have the Y, we don't have the other 22. There's nothing in the computer to compare it to.
So that's why then it has to be ran individually.
That's why we have to look at individual. We have to see individual men and then compare their Y chromosome to what we have.
So in other words, like let's say a brother of a brother goes in and he says, "Hey, I want to give my DNA," and it would not. Okay, you would be able to run his as far as with the Y part.
Correct.
But it would not. Would it still determine? Let's say. Okay, would it be able to come back and say there's a match, but it's not, it's within the family?
We cannot do that with just a Y chromosome.
Can't do that.
We can say it is this individual or it's not this individual. We can't say it's part of the family or not.
Right. So pretty much, I mean, it's not a bad thing because pretty much if somebody hits that, there is no other explanation for it.
Correct. If we get a match, they get a sample from an individual, and we say it hits this DNA match. There they are now the person that deposited that DNA.
Right.
It has to be explained, for whatever reason, they have to, I don't know, there is an explanation, but that will be who did it.
Right.
Short of an artifact now.
Right. Right. So it's actually a little more powerful because it's only the Y, and that Y male, for it to match that, it would be dead on. I mean, there's no other, because you'd have to run them individually, so that means, there's no way. I mean, if they hit, it hits, it's them.
If it hits, it hits, correct. Now, the only drawback with what we have is instead of, the other 22 chromosomes, you get much more powerful, by meaning, if I hit, I could have 50 markers on the other 22 chromosomes, and if I get 49 of them, I know to 1 billionth of a percentage you're the person.
Right.
Now, in this case, we only have a very small amount of the Y chromosome. If it hits, it hits. It's not like it's not going to be that person.
Right.
But the differentiating power is actually less.
Right.
So we'll come in and say, okay, it's 1 in a million.
Right.
It's still, it's still that person. There's no,
right.
It's just not as powerful statistically, but we're still talking, and there's no way to argue against it. The only argument someone would have is it's artifactual. That somehow it's contamination or something like that.
Right. So, but as far as like a brother, how sometimes you can take a brother and they'll say, hey, he partially hit, but that means he ain't the one. That means, it's within that family of males.
Unless it's an identical twin, we would be able to differentiate it.
Right. Okay, now I understand that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not in a CODIS, because it's not an actual full DNA profile. It's a partial DNA profile.
Right.
So that's why it was never in there in CODIS. So now, for them to say, well, Donald Brandon, we ran your DNA in the CODIS, they had to lie to me because you couldn't.
Your DNA should not have been run in a CODIS against for this. We didn't do it.
No, I know that. No. I know that. That's what I was told. That's just what I was told. That it was ran in database, which is CODIS. And that's why I was organized, like, okay, you ran mine, which I understood why they came and got mine, because I was willing to give mine, you know what I'm saying, I'm the father, and they needed my numbers anyways.
Now, if they ran you against CODIS, someone else, there's no reason to do that. Unless they're fixing for you on other crimes, there's no reason to do that, but we don't do that. We just compared you to the sample we have.
Now, let me ask you, do you have that sample, or does BCI have that sample?
Your sample?
No, my daughter's sample.
We have it.
You all have it?
Yes. Now, they may have it. I don't...
See, I was told BCI had it.
BCI may have... We have the profile, so we have...
Okay.
The printout, we have... Once we have a profile, I don't know if they came and got if they came and got the swab and they're redoing it, but we will always have, the results.
Right, the results.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if we still have the swab or not. I could imagine that it's now at BCI, so they have something to compare to.
Right.
But we would have just given them the profile too, but they may have wanted to rerun it or something.
Right. Okay. So, well, that's good to know that, if somebody does run they do run their DNA and it hits, then it's that person. So.
It's that person.
And the thing of it is, this is my little girl. And you got to understand that. This is my daughter. She's 8 years old. Shouldn't be no male's DNA around her.
I'm not arguing the point. You're correct.
Alright, so that was the coroner. He called me back because I asked him some questions the last time I spoke to him about x-rays. And he did not do x-rays. Now, he also explained on another phone call that, with x-rays, the thing of it is, when my daughter was sent to Montgomery County, she was sent there as an accidental. And that shouldn't have never happened. And then there was a lack of communication between our county and their county. And like like I said in the last one, he explained that where they washed her and all that stuff and sent her back. So when they did get the phone call and they said, wait a minute, did you run, you know, we need this done on her. There's a reason why. And he said, no, we already sent her back. And they were like, no, we need to send her back because this is a crime. And if you remember when I talked to him the last time and I played that for everybody, I asked him, you know, that they're supposed to treat every fire with a fatality in it as an arson and a homicide first, then accidental. And he agreed. That's not what happened with Mackenzie. So when Mackenzie got sent there were some things they didn't do. They sent her back, and then when she came back, they couldn't still do it because they treated her as a patient, more or less. So they didn't do x-rays, you know, to see if she had a fractured neck or a fracture, you know, hairline fracture or anything like that, which would have came up on an x-ray, which he talked about that the last time. So, but he wanted to make it clear that they did not do any x-rays, and he cleared it, they did not. So then he went into talking about the DNA. Now, the DNA, like I said, it's a Y DNA. YX is a male, XX is female. And in that Y, like he said, it has to be an individual person. So if the law comes to you and they say, I want your DNA, and they send that DNA in, if that DNA hits that Y, that's the person that did this crime to my daughter. They're the ones that raped Mackenzie that night or that day, but they're the ones that did that crime. And what I'm upset about is, what I'm going to discuss here is in 2009, I was cleared. I was cleared by the fire marshals and I was cleared by ATF. 2 federal agencies cleared me on my daughter's birthday, May 30th, 2009. Now, at that time, they didn't even know, I mean, they knew there was DNA, but they never asked for it. In 2012, which was 3 years later, they profiled this DNA. Now, what I'm upset about, and I can show everybody right here, it says father cleared in daughter's death. This is the date. This is when I was cleared. And it also, I read this before right here, it says that the mother and boyfriend are suspects, according to the state fire marshal's agency, that they are suspects. Now, my problem I have is when Bernie came to me, I asked him, I said, why did y'all get my DNA? Can I just ask? What's the whole reason behind the DNA? And he said, well, we needed your DNA to show that all these numbers of your daughter, that's Mackenzie is your daughter, all this is in, you know, all these numbers match her numbers. You just heard him right there say, that is not the DNA. They didn't have those numbers. So even if they took my DNA and they put it with Mackenzie on this Y DNA, I wasn't going to hit. It doesn't prove that I'm her father. It proves of the person that committed that crime. It's that DNA. It's nothing to do with Mackenzie. So, illegally, in 2012, when they swabbed my mouth and I went in there, that sheriff's office ran my DNA to try to get a hit on that Y. And what pisses me off more than anything is they knew I was cleared in 2009, and they knew damn well I didn't go to my ex-wife's house, go upstairs, and rape my little girl. They know that. They knew that. So they wasted all that time, still, all the time they were pointing their finger at me, trying to figure out what way they could trick this system into putting this case on me. They turned around and they forgot about the ones that did it. And that is illegal for the Fayette County Sheriff's Office to run my DNA when I was cleared by 2 state federal agencies. So that just shows you what kind of a sheriff's department we have here. It is illegal. because I was clear of my daughter's death. So, when I was talking to the coroner, there's some things that we discussed that we asked to be confidential, and that's how I'm going to keep it. But I can tell you one thing right now. I'm demanding that William Fraser Potter and Kenneth Mossbarger have their DNA checked. Some reason they're avoiding their DNA. And I know this for a fact. I can't share this information, but I know for a fact that they have not took those two and ran it with the DNA they have. And that's a fact. And anybody that's been following me for years on this story of my daughter knows that I don't lie. I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to lie to this community. So when I say I know for a fact that those two have not been ran, they haven't been ran. So I sit back and I was with my friends and I kept questioning myself, why? Why did they run my DNA? Somebody they knew for a fact wasn't their DNA there. But the two people involved in this crime, they have not yet, still today, ran their DNA. And the thing of it is, I believe one of those two is going to hit that DNA. And this would be over with. Instead, I go back to, like I said, there's some reason Vernon Stanford and his sheriff department is covering for those two people up there on my wall and their DNA. There's some reason. And I think it's sickening that they keep coming after me. And the only reason they're doing that is they're trying to figure out a way they can get me to shut me up. There is no other way to look at it.
Gotta be, yeah.
So, I got some plans. I'm holding off on Washington, D.C. because I got some good information on how to do it a different way. But like I said, I just cannot believe that this has gone 12 years. And in 12 years, you know, you got to think about the first year and the first 6 years, they didn't even know the DNA was there. Well, they did know, but they're acting like they didn't know. Now we've gone another 6 years since they profiled it in 2012, and they haven't even done one person's DNA.
Every male that was in the house that night should have.
Every male in that house, every male on her side of the family should have been ran. They should have went, got their DNA, and they should have sent it to Montgomery County and tested it. And I can tell you right now, for a fact, I know they haven't been. I'm not going to go into details about it, but I know they haven't been, and I know some of the other family members on that side have not neither been. So my question is why? Why are you not? They have it. You heard the coroner say, as soon as that DNA comes in and it hits that Y, it's that person and that person only that did this crime. And then you heard in there what he said. They had no reason whatsoever to run your DNA. None. Then also he said, the only reason they would have ran your DNA through CODIS is to hopefully find out that you committed a crime somewhere else. That's fucking bullshit.
Yep.
They know my criminal record. They know everything about me. I don't hide nothing. Been in Vernon's office plenty of times in his face. But we go back to, you know, his wife made the lies up. We proved that lies were lies on the coroner's report. We proved what Vernon's done and his lies. And all I've asked for in the beginning of this was 3 people's DNA. That is William Potter, Kenneth Mossbarger, and Mike Stiegel. Well, Mike Stiegel's dead now. We can't go to his sons and get their DNA because that's not the DNA they have. It has to be that individual that was in that room that night that raped my little girl. There's no other numbers to go by or to try to think that they might have some profile on, you know. That's not what this is about. That's why he agreed that this is a good DNA, because whoever hits that Y, the male that hits it, that's him. They ain't getting out of it. They're going straight to prison. But why have they not ran the people that were in that house that night? And then it goes back to this guy that was never brought up or never mentioned. Mm-hmm. So we got this guy out here that we're still trying to find as a community. Sheriff Department, prosecutor, they act like he doesn't exist. But they're not even looking to see if he does. But we do know that the mom and the boyfriend knows who that guy was. So we don't even know it was him that could have raped my little girl that night. We don't know. But I don't understand why this sheriff's office, how hard is it? Kenneth Mossbarger, he lived in the house. So what? He tells them to go get a warrant. William Potter, his lie detector test speaks all about what his part in this fire is. So they can get a warrant and go get his DNA. And they told them, both of them told them to go get a warrant. And still today they didn't even go get the warrant.
That's what gets me. They want to shut this down so bad. Why not go up there and tell them?
And here's the thing. Vernon said, what did he tell all this community? I have something that we're not going to let anybody know until it's a key to this puzzle when that person... I'm going to tell you right now, Vernon P. Stanforth, ain't nobody that raped my daughter that night going to come in that sheriff's office, sit down and say, it was my DNA, I'm the one that raped the little girl, and I'm the one that set the fire. Ain't going to happen.
No.
And if that's the kind of sheriff's office we live under, that they wait on the person that commits the crime to come in and tell, we got problems in this county.
Right.
Serious problems in this county.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they have. That little detail that he keeps telling everybody, that's what they have.
Mm-hmm.
But then, they're not doing anything with that.
Exactly.
They're ignoring it. Because you know why? They know one of those is going to hit that DNA. And then Vernon can't answer the why I've been saying it for 12 years who the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want the embarrassment that the father has been telling them for 12 years how to do their job and who it was involved in my daughter's death. And they don't want that embarrassment at all. At all. That's the only reason. And and like I said, you got a cop that they hired, paid thousands of dollars, gave him thousands of dollars to go check a bunch of kids' DNA that were 8 years old at the time of my daughter's death. And this whole time, they didn't order neither one of them to go in and do it. And like I said, I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I have the facts that I know about more than I just can't say it. I agree not to speak of it, and I won't speak of it. But I can tell you right now, those two have not been ran. And all these kids that were sent there or whatever, that story that I got from Vernon Stanwood that they did all this testing of DNA on all these kids, that didn't happen either. So, my question is, why are you covering for these two people? Something that is so simple to go get somebody's DNA and check it with the DNA they have, and this case is over with as soon as they hit. Instead, they want to drag me through this for 12 years. So, yes, have I solved my daughter's death? I can say officially today, yes. Because I've got everything else to prove everything. Everybody knows everything I've got. Only thing I ain't got is the authority to make those two son of a bitches right there go give their DNA up. And anybody that tells law enforcement go get a warrant tells me you're hiding something. You're afraid of your DNA. So that would be an automatic red flag. And then you're going to say, I ain't going to buy it. I ain't going to waste time to go get a judge to sign a warrant and then go get it. blah, 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 blah. So now y'all understand why I want this out of the sheriff's hands. Now you understand why. Something so simple. And the bad part about it, I'm gonna tell the community, this is out of my heart. All I look at this is they disrespected Mackenzie. Badly. So much disrespect for that little girl. To sit there and cover stuff up. To sit there and not force people to go give their DNA. For them not to do this case the way it should have been done in the beginning. For a newspaper article to write and call her an it. You guys disrespected my child. And because you disrespected my child, you have no clue the last 3 days of what this brain right here has been thinking. And I am coming like a fireball, and people are going to see some action happening real quick. Real quick. I'm just waiting on Monday when doors open up, and there is no more of me calling you on the phone and saying, hey, this is Donald Branham, can I come and meet with you? That's not how I'm doing it no more. I'm going to walk into your place of work, and I'm going to confront your ass right there, right then, on the spot. Excuses are over with. I've heard excuses for 12 years about my daughter's death. It is time for demanding, and it is time for action. And if you don't want to do it, you'll pay for it in the end of this. That's a fact. So when I come to your office, that's why I wanted to go live. When I come to your office and I say I'm Donald Branham, you better damn sure listen to what I got to say. Because if you ignore me or you speak one excuse out of your mouth, we're done. I'll see you in the end. And don't think I ain't already had phone calls come in. Because I just had a state official call me just Friday. And now he's involved. So, I'm done playing the games. I'm done with the excuses. Just like when I call BCI again, they try to give me a name and say, hey, why don't you go and talk to this person and they'll help you. And I swear to God, as my hand as a God as a witness, I said, really? That's a joke. I wouldn't tell that man what color my shoes were. And that's Bob Peterson. Because when he was a commissioner of Fayette County, he didn't do his damn job then. And he was right in Vernon P. Stanford's pocket. So damn sure ain't going to go to somebody I know already. Vernon P. Stanford's got him in his front pocket. And that's what I told him on the phone, exact words. I could care less how they felt about it or anything. I will not talk to no state representative that I know was in this county because they didn't do shit for this county. So, what I'm going to do is, like I said, this is a short one tonight. I just wanted everybody clear up what they think. And I'm going to tell you right now, whoever, they know who they are. They know who was in my daughter's room that night. They know who raped my daughter. They know it. That person knows it, and so does that piece of shit mother, and so is that friggin', he ain't even a boyfriend, I don't know what you want to call him, but whatever he is, him, they know who it was. They know who raped my daughter that night. They know why they set the fire. So, here's what it is. I'm coming. I said it before, and you can take me back to court. I'm coming. I'm coming harder than I've ever come. I am like a fireball now because it has done nothing but with my mind because of finding out my daughter was raped and then why they set the fire. And to know that my daughter was alive and knowing that she was raped that night, already in pain and suffering, and then they set the fire to kill her on top of that and drug her so that she couldn't get off that bed. And I'm going to tell you right now, no one knows exactly what the hell has been lit underneath my feet. And I'm coming. I'm coming strong. I don't care. There ain't a law around here that's going to stop me. I'm coming, and I mean when I say I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm not done. I told my daughter, I promised my daughter that day at her gravesite, I will do this for you. I will solve this for you. I will fight for you every day. And the best thing, and this is not a threat, this is a promise. Best thing, anybody gets on any of my live feeds, anybody wants to be a smart ass and say one more smart ass thing about me, don't say it on my live feed. Don't say it on my Facebook page. Come to this address and say it to my face so I can knock your fucking teeth out. Because that's what I'm going to start doing. Knocking teeth out when people want to be a dumbass. Because There is no explanation to why my daughter had to be raped that night and then set on fire. There is no explanation for it. And for this county to disrespect that pisses me off more than anything, because it tells me, do you think they would do the same thing to another child? Yes. If the Fayette County has their hands in that, it will happen again. So, by ending this tonight, I got one thing to say. Vernon P. Stanford, Ryan McFarland, and the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, I no longer will allow you to work on Mackenzie's case anymore from this day forward. And this is a legal matter. And I have the right to stop you legally live and tell you you no longer can do this case anymore. And the reason why is because of right here. I got you for cover-up. I got you for preservation, where you did not protect the evidence. You lost the tapes. You lost the ladder out of your evidence room. You destroyed the clothing. You lost the exterior evidence, which means you knew my child was murdered. They knew within minutes of that fireman showing up to that fire that there was something suspicious. So they knew. And you still sent that child as an accident, and they washed her body. So you lost all that evidence they could have collected off of my child. Tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice, false documents, false statements to the media and the community that I can prove. And disrespect to the victim and the victim's family and this community. So with all these that I have just read here, I'm asking the Fayette County Sheriff, no I'm not, sorry, rephrase that. I'm demanding the Fayette County Sheriff's Office and Vernon P. Stanford and Ryan McFarland, you are no longer allowed to work, ask, or do anything on Mackenzie Taylor Branham's case. As of
21st.
April 21st, 2018. So now, you can take it however you want to. I call it a gag and desist and decease on you. And I'm telling you now, as the father that's been cleared by 2 federal agencies, and that I am the father of Mackenzie Taylor Branham and had custody of that child, I'm asking and demanding that you cease everything you're doing on my daughter's case. So that is what I am doing tonight with the Fayette County Sheriff's Office. And if I find out that you are, then we'll go into the legal part of it. So, and I guarantee you, with everything I have here, you will not and cannot beat me in the law of the courts. You can hire the best lawyer you want to hire. You will not beat me, because you cannot beat your own words that you spoke out of your own mouth, of the errors and the mistakes that you want to call them on my child's homicide case. So I'm telling you right now, I'm no longer playing. I don't want to hear no more excuses. Come Monday morning, there's a couple offices. I'm not going to tell what offices I'm going into, but be prepared that Donald Branham is showing in there, up there, and it is not to have an appointment made. It is to speak to you right there on the spot immediately. I'm done playing games. Like I said, you re-victimized me, you re-victimized my family, my boys, Mackenzie's true brothers, you re-victimized them. We're done of it. We're tired of it. It is now, games are over with. I'm coming full force. And trust me, I guarantee you one thing. I do have a Mackenzie army behind me. And I've said it before. They try to shut me down. Mackenzie's army is behind me. We're tired of it. We're done with it. It is time now for action and prosecution. You better go get DNA. I don't care who it is, but you better go get DNA. Do not make an excuse that, well, they want us to get a warrant. If that's how it goes, then you better march your ass up in David Beathard's office and get your warrant and go get it. We're done. I told you already, 2018, I would solve my daughter's case. I have solved my daughter's case. I gave you plenty of people, persons of interest. Remember, Vernon don't have nobody. Of course he don't have nobody. He ain't doing his freaking job. I gave you enough names of person of interest and suspects. Go do your job. We're done. I don't want to hear no excuses that there was a car accident out on 35 and my detectives don't have time to go out there and do it. You know what? We do not have that much crime in this town every day that ties these detectives up. If it comes to that point that your detectives are always tied up every day, then guess what? Go find a detective that ain't got. You know what I'm saying? Excuses are over. I'm done with the excuses. Just like the exhuming. In my eyes, there was no reason for that exhuming.
Nope.
You made me go through another whole entire funeral with my child because you thought you could cover up something else. You're busted. Point blank. All I can say for Vernon P. Stanford, find an attorney. Quit traveling to Colorado. Quit traveling to Nevada. Quit traveling to Washington, D.C. to shake hands with President Trump. Because your true colors are about to be shown nationwide. Excuses are over. You had your chance. I asked you as a father to fix this, and you didn't want to fix it. You wanted to keep covering up. I will not anymore turn anything over to the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, and they will no longer work on my daughter's case. So come Monday morning, actions are going to start happening, and they better be prepared. So, after 3 days of hearing what I've heard, and like I said before, no father wants to ever hear that their child was raped. But then, no father wants to hear that your child was raped and then was alive when they burned her. You know, I look at it this way. They could have made a difference that night. They could have made a choice. And that choice was they could have just took the charge that my daughter was raped. But I would still have Mackenzie here. And I could have dealt with that situation. And I'd have helped her. I'd have guided her through that situation as a father. But then your own guilt, your own stinginess, your own wanting freedom, you decided to kill her. But then you couldn't even do it in a manner way. Instead, you burned her while she was alive. So, because of that, and because the sheriff's office disrespected Mackenzie, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you like you ain't never seen. Take me to court. I've been begging y'all to take me to court for years. Take me to court. Because there ain't nothing better than the whole media at that court hearing, listening to it all and hearing everything that happened and tapes being played. So, take me to court. Threatening me, you're going to sue me, or you're going to cease and desist and shut down Mackenzie's army in this investigation. Let me tell you something. You're fighting against God and you're fighting against Mackenzie, and they ain't going to let you win on that. That's why we're still doing live feeds today. That's why I worked as hard as I did to solve my child's death. And you know, anybody out there that still defends that egg donor, you got to be cuckoo yourself. Because I've proven time over and time, man, all about that person. And the way I look at it, 12 years you've had freedom. 12 years you've been able to breathe our air. 12 years you might have already heard another child. And the thing of it is that makes me sicker than anything in my stomach is this woman knew who raped my child and kept that name secretly so that that person could rape another child. Always remember that.
Yep. That's what got me.
That's what I said on my
Because
Facebook
once
the
a
other day.
child, once a person rapes a child and gets away with it, they'll rape
Oh,
another
yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah.
They're still walking.
98% it will happen again.
Yep.
And she knew this. And they kept it secretly, including this person that was there that night. And then, I know they're the ones that set the fire, but let's just, I always give the benefit of the doubt. But they weren't the ones that set the fire. They know who did.
Yep.
And they know who burned my child while she was still alive. So, they would do it again. Remember that. They would do it again. So anybody that defends her. And yeah, by the way, I found out something the other day. And this is the way I am. I will say this. I know there's a lot of people out there that think the world of me as a father and what I'm doing for my daughter. But I'll tell you what. Do not come on my live feed and say, you're a wonderful father. Man, keep fighting. Take them down. Blah, blah, blah. And then go on the sheriff's page and say, wow, you're a wonderful sheriff. Good job you're doing for our community. If I find out you're doing that, you're off. I will block you immediately. You'll never follow another Mackenzie Taylor Branham live feed, story, post, anything. You will not get on mine and say what a wonderful father I am, and then turn around and go tell a sheriff that he's a great person and what a wonderful job he's doing for our community. So anybody that does that, and I see it, you're done. You will no longer be on my page watching anything. You will be blocked immediately because that sheriff did not do his job. And I have proved it over and over, and I have plenty of evidence to prove it, including tape recordings of his own voice saying it. So, if you back that sheriff and you support Burning Peace Stand For It, do not get on Mackenzie's page, because I surely can guarantee you one thing, Mackenzie does not support him. And neither do I as her father. So, I'm just warning people right now. If I hear of it, I see it, you're off my page. For good. You will not be invited back. I will not play games with people that want to come on here and just steal shit so they can go share it to that mother. Trust me, that mother has her own little fake account, and she's watching this her own self. So if you're getting on there and you're taking it just so that she can see everything that's going on, and you're trying to help her in whatever way, because here's the way I look at it. It doesn't matter. No mother leaves their child in a fire. So if you think she's a hero or a great mother or whatever, you think, and you're going to come over and steal information to share it with her to help build whatever she's trying to build, you're gone. Immediately you'll be blocked and you're gone. I will not play that game. That is not what this is about for Mackenzie. This is about justice for Mackenzie. So I'm getting real serious with all this stuff. I will block anybody I find out that's doing that kind of stupid shit on my page. Because my baby girl deserves justice, not disrespect. So, anybody that's friends with Mary Ann, you might as well just go ahead and delete yourself now. Because before Monday gets here, I'm going through everything, you'll be gone. You'll no longer see anything that has to do with Mackenzie. I guarantee you that right now. Anybody that makes a threat towards any of these people, you're gone. Because I cannot have that situation or that problem neither on my live feeds. This is a serious situation here, and I have worked way too hard. I have cried more tears than I thought I would ever cry. My family, I'm going to protect, so that's my job as a father and a husband. So anybody I find out any of this stuff, you're gone. You're gone. And there ain't going to be no, oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to go on that share site and say that, or you're gone. You're history. I don't want to put up with it, and I ain't going to put up with it. I know what's facts. I know what I did for 12 years. For 12 years, I have spent 12 years of my life, solid of my life, on this. And I will not let somebody ruin it for the joy of their self or for that bitch. So, if you get caught, you're gone. I'm done. I'm done playing games, man. I'm telling you guys. I've worked too hard to get where I am with my daughter's case to watch it get screwed up because somebody wants to be a smart ass. So, other than that, like I said, I want everybody to hear what the coroner had to say about what kind of DNA we got. We know what kind they got. We know it's an individual DNA that will be the only person that can hit that. And I'm demanding, and anybody wants to back this, we are going to demand DNA to be started immediately on these people. No excuses why they can't. They're going to start doing it. Come Monday, I've got bigger things to do come Monday. Hopefully, that person does the right thing. And if he does, you're going to see some changes real quick in Fayette County. If he doesn't, that's fine. He can go on the other side of that fence. That fence is coming down. One by one, I'm going to take it down. I guarantee it. And like I said, it's about my daughter Mackenzie, but also my daughter told me, Dad, protect all children because this is happening everywhere. Like my daughter said, she was standing up there in heaven in a group of little kids in a circle. And all these kids in that circle with Mackenzie went through the same thing that she's gone through. And that was no justice. So, like I said, I'm done playing games with people. You want to threaten me or anything like that, I said, don't do it on Facebook. Don't come on my live feed. Come to my house. That's where I want you to be, at my house. Then I'll go live, but come to my house. Don't hide behind the media there. So, I ain't never hid nothing. Like I said, I think it's fair to this community to know everything that went on. I promised everybody I would let everybody know it. I have never lied to this community. Ever. This is a terrible tragedy that happened to my daughter. And people need to be held accountable for it. Including the ones covering it up. They all need to be held accountable. They knew their job. They knew what they were supposed to do, and they didn't. And there's a reason behind it, and they're like Mariana Kinney. They don't want to tell who was at their house. They want to make all these lies up. That sheriff's office is the same damn way. They ain't done nothing but lie to this community. And like I said, how many times have I took his newspaper article and punched holes all the way through his story?
Every time. Every time they print one. Every time they print one.
You know, it is what it is. And I'm going to fight. And anybody that if you don't like me, and you don't like what I'm going to do, and you don't like why I'm fighting for my daughter, delete yourself. It's not that hard to do. Delete yourself. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to follow this story. You don't have to see the photographs. You don't have to. The thing I said in the beginning of this in 2017, I said I would not lie to my community, and I would share everything with this community because my daughter touched more people than just me and my family. So, like I said, you got anything smart ass to say? Matter of fact, we deleted one the other day. She made a comment. She was protecting William. She's gone. See ya. That's how fast it will happen. We're not going to play these games. This is very serious of what happened to my little girl. So anybody I feel that think it was all right for my daughter to be raped, and it was all right for my daughter to be set on fire, then you do not need to be nowhere on my pages following this story or anything. It's the way it's going to be. Sorry. So, that's how I'm going to do it from now on. So, it was a short one tonight. Like I said, I wanted to hear everybody hear the update on the corner, because I promised everybody, if I get something, you're going to know it. What I just did to the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, right here is where it says I was cleared. I wanted everybody to know that, plain and simple. And we're coming. We're coming now. There ain't no holding nothing back. I can tell you right now, in 12 years, this is the 21st, within less than a week of my daughter's anniversary, which will be this weekend, when she was murdered, I solved my daughter's case I know the people that's involved in my daughter. Now it's time for justice and prosecution. Point blank. No more excuses. So I thank everybody in this community that when I post this stuff, when I asked for stuff, you all jumped on it and you helped. That showed so much about we didn't forget Mackenzie. She ain't forgotten by us. So there's still some bumps in the road, and there's going to still be some stuff coming up. Hey, I've dealt with nobody. I wouldn't wish my life on anybody. What I've dealt with and the walls that I've had to tear down, but I've done it. I've done it, and I'm proud of myself. And I don't care what anybody else thinks about me. I like myself. I love myself, and I'm proud of what I did. But I can tell you one thing for sure: my little girl sits up above me and smiles down on her daddy and tells me now, "Thank you, Daddy. You listened, you followed me, and you made what you did today happen." So that's all that matters to me. That's it. So I love everybody. I'm going to play a good song this time for tonight for Mackenzie because, like I said, it's all about her story. And it is also, we won. We won this. It's just now making the things happen that need to be happening. So, other than that, we won. We got it. So, I thank everybody. Hey, the right one is.
I wanna be a part of somebody finding love, somebody finding love unfailing. I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody finding life, somebody finding life everlasting. And I wanna play a part, I wanna play a part of somebody finding hope, somebody finding hope in God of heaven. It's my desire, Lord, you would use me, change somebody else's destiny. I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody else's story, somebody else's story of redemption. I wanna be the one, I wanna be the one to shine the light of Jesus into their darkness. So lead me to that someone, I pray. Lord, I wanna bring you glory in somebody else's story, somebody else's story. I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody finding comfort, somebody finding comfort when they're hurting. And I wanna play a part, I wanna play a part of caring for the widow, sheltering the orphan. It's my desire, Lord, you will use me to change somebody else's destiny. I somebody else's story, somebody else's story of redemption. This hope in me was not meant to be contained inside. I've gotta give it away, give it away. This hope in me was not meant to be contained inside. I've gotta give it away, 'cause I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody else's story, somebody else's story of redemption.
Alright, another thing I want to say to everybody, first off, I love everybody, man, and I really thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for fighting as hard as we have fought. It's still not over. We still have a lot more to do. I want to thank everybody, I mean, so dearly, that is helping with donating to Mackenzie's Memorial Fund. Like I said, I'm going to get an attorney. There's still things I still got to get. There's still things that we got to put together to present and everything. So I appreciate everybody that's helping me and my family out there. The ones that also that I got some people that sent me money through the mail, and I thank you guys. I understand that a lot of people don't want to go on that Mackenzie's Memorial Fund and give their information and stuff. So I want to thank those that have sent checks and letters and stuff to me. But like I said, we still got more to go. We still got, you know, hopefully we can get somebody arrested and charged for Mackenzie, and then, you know, the trials and all that. So we're not done yet. Mackenzie's Army is not done yet. All I'm saying is, as far as getting to the bottom of what happened to my daughter, we did it. We did it. And I'm proud of every one of you guys. I am. Mackenzie's proud of every one of you guys for everything you guys have done. The support, the letters that I get, people sending me private messages, and some of your guys' story really, really touches me and my heart. And like I said, I still got a long road ahead of me. It's not officially over. It's just the part that we know what happened that night, and now is finding that person. Once we find that person, or they check their DNA and we get them, then we'll also know the rest. It all plays out. Whoever hits that DNA, like I told my mom, you know, whoever hits that DNA, one thing I do know about it is I'll know that person and what they have with the other two. What connection is there? Whether they use my daughter for trafficking, because, you know, there's signs there with the bleaching of her hair and all that, or the boyfriend or the uncle, will know the connection once that person hits. And like I said, that coroner said it over and over. Once that person hit, that's it. That's them. They're the one that did it. They're the one that raped Mackenzie. So we already know the fire. We do. Fire was to cover up what happened to my little girl. And like I said before, I'm not lying to anybody. For that person to know what they did to her daughter, and that night, and then on top of that, turn around and set that house on fire. I mean, my daughter, and then to sit there and tell this community that she died peacefully. Man, I'm sorry, but to me, she's had 12 years of freedom.
Right.
Way too long for what that little girl went through that night. And she deserves to be in prison the rest of her life. She deserves to suffer the same way my little girl did. And it's coming. Trust me, it's coming. I told you guys, and we still got 7 months in 2018. We got 7 months to get somebody to hit that DNA. So like I said, my number one priority is to force them now. Demand it. We're done asking. Asking is over. I've asked till I was blue in the face. It's demanding now. And we're going to demand it, and they're the ones that's got to explain why they didn't do it. So, but I wanted to thank, like I said, I told Sean here, I wanted to thank everybody that's been helping with the donation so that we can make this happen and move forward more with this. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. The ones that's mailed money to us, it's great. It's awesome that there's that many people out there that really care about it. Even if you can't donate, I understand. You know, times are hard for people right now, especially with gas prices. But I know it's in your heart, and as long as you hit that share button, that's what matters too. And I think the other day I looked at it, and it was 279 shares already. So, you know, even sharing it and getting it out there for Mackenzie is just enough too. And but I thank everybody that has donated, and that money will be used the right way, and it's going to get justice for Mackenzie. I guarantee you that it will get justice for Mackenzie. So I love everybody. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see what happens.